Welcome back to the Bears Baseball Network. We've got, honestly, probably my favorite show of the year. It is the Prospect Show. You know, I think this is one of the things that really sets the Bears organization apart from everybody else is that we really do build from within. You know, you look at all the top teams we have in the Bears, every single one of them was built from the bottom teams. You know, every single top team we have had guys who started on the second or third level teams. You know, I know from my 13U team personally, we've got, I think, 4 guys in the opening day roster that started on the third team in their Bears career. So this is one of my favorite episodes because I think it's going to be a great time to just look at the future of the Bears. A prospect is defined by us as any player in the Bears who has not taken 50 career plate appearances on a varsity team. So anybody in the Bears who has not taken 50 career plate appearances is eligible to be a prospect. So let's get right into it. We have top 50 prospects in the Bears. And I'll tell you what, the first time we did this episode, Bernie, do you remember how many we had?
No.
15, and now we're doing 50. So absolutely incredible. Let's get right into it. Obviously, we don't have enough time to talk about every one of these guys. So the first 15, we're just going to rattle off their names. Starting at number 50. Our number 50 prospect in the Bears is Caleb Mers. He is our number 6 pitching prospect and number 5 15U prospect. Number 49, Luke Pollard. He's our number 8 catching prospect and number 7 11U prospect. Number 48, Ethan Portell, who's our number 16 outfield prospect and number 10 14U prospect. Number 47 is Liam Killian, who is our number 6 first base prospect and number 17 13U prospect. Number 46 is Tommy Walsh. He's our number 15 outfield prospect, number 18 13U prospect. Zach Reich is number 45. He's our 14th infield prospect and 16th 13U prospect. Kobe Kennedy is number 44. He's number 5 first base prospect and number 9 14U prospect. Nathan Pollard is number 43. He's our 14th outfield prospect and 15th 13U prospect. Ryan Shamey is number 42. He's our number 4 first base prospect and number 4 15U prospect. Dylan Graham is number 41. He's our number 13 infield prospect and number 14 13U prospect. Aaron Clayton is number 40. He's our number 5 pitching prospect and number 13 13U prospect. Adam Shockley, number 39. He's our 12th infield prospect and 8th 14U prospect. Carter Byrne is number 38. He's our 13th outfield prospect and 6th 11U prospect. Ryder Beckerman, number 37. He's our 3rd first base prospect and 7th 12U prospect. And Tommy DeClue is our number 36 prospect. He is our 4th pitching prospect and number 3 15U prospect. So that is our 36 through 50. Bernie, just real quick, maybe one of these guys you want to highlight here of our 36 through 50.
36 through 50. I like the last guy you said, Tommy DeClue. I think this guy has real upside with the pitching. He's been in persistent pitching all winter. He's been working hard. I think he could have a big season for the Jackson squad.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the best curveballs of any of these prospects. KJ, one player of this 36 through 50 that you want to highlight.
I'll talk about Aaron Clayton. This guy, he's really started to work hard. He's in free swing. I know he's in pitching. We had a scrimmage out here today. He was crushing balls. And, you know, he kind of is being thought of as a big pitching prospect, but this guy, he showed he can hit a little bit. In free swing, he's definitely been getting a lot better, so I'm excited for him.
Yeah, he's a guy who throws hard and has been working really hard this offseason. A guy who came in very, very raw and has worked really hard. Guy I want to highlight is Ethan Portell. He's a guy who, if you look at him, he's very unassuming. He's a smaller guy. He kind of, doesn't look like he'd be a big baseball player, but he had a very big winner, one of the biggest winners of 14U. I'm very excited about this guy. Moving into our top 35, starting at number 35. Just going to go one sentence on these guys. We got to go quick. So let's start with number 35, Carson Walsh. He's our number 3 pitching prospect and number 6 12U prospect. KJ, give me a sentence on Carson Walsh.
Yeah, he's going to be the ace for that Burn squad this year, and maybe we could see him start a couple games for the top team in the fall.
Number 34 is AJ Ciliberto. He's our number 2 pitching prospect and number 3 18U prospect. I'll tell you what, AJ always had the tools. I think he's going to get a chance to really showcase them on the top team this year. Number 33 is Joey Burgess. He's our number 7 catching prospect and number 12 13U prospect. KJ, going to go back to you. Give me a sentence here on Joey Burgess.
Yeah, he's coming along as a catcher, but I think this guy, his big thing is going to be his bat. You're going to find a spot for him defensively because that bat is going to play a pivotal role on whatever team he's on.
Number 32 is Andrew Kahlberg. He's our number 6 catching prospect and number 2 15U prospect. Bernie, give me a sentence here on Andrew Kahlberg.
Yeah, Andrew just keeps getting better. He's a great defensive catch around the plate. I'm excited to see what he does.
Shane Brinkman's our number 31 prospect. He's our number 12 outfield prospect and number 7 14U prospect. And I'll tell you what, Shane, he's been a BBN darling for a long time. I think he's kind of gotten lost in the shuffle of all the big names at 14U, but I'm excited for him to really prove it on the field. Our number 30 prospect is Caden Fenberg. He's our number 5 catching prospect, number 11 13U prospect. KJ, give me a sentence here on Caden Fenberg.
Yeah, he's gonna play good defense wherever he is. If it's in the outfield, I know he catches a little bit too. And I think he's gonna hit. When he first came to the Bears, his swing was a lot. Trying to make contact, everything, afraid of striking out. Now he's got a little bit more of an aggressive swing, and take all that aside. If drip was an attribute, this guy would be a 10 out of 10.
All right, that was a long sentence, KJ. Going on to number 29, we have Phil Lobeck. He's our number 11 outfield prospect and number 5 12U prospect. Going back to you, KJ, give me a sentence on Phil Lobeck.
Yeah, this is a guy who just works hard, and he's going to play a big role, not just playing-wise on that Burn squad this year, but he's going to be a big leader on that team.
Dowd Ishmael is our number 28 prospect, number 10 in the outfield, and number 5 at 11U. Bernie, a sentence here on Dowd Ishmael.
Yeah, the power upside's obviously there. Dowd's a massive kid. He's gotten free swing lately. He's got a lot better just in the past month or so since he's been in free swing.
Our number 27 prospect is Sean Ferguson. He's our number 9 outfield prospect and number 2 18U prospect. This is a guy, all the athletic tools in the world. We'll see if he can really put it together on the top team. Our number 26 prospect is John Armbruster. He's our number 2 first base prospect and number 10 13U prospect. KJ, a sentence here on John Armbruster.
Yeah, he's going to play good first base. He can hit the ball, and I think he's going to have so much more power this year than he did last year at the plate.
Our number 25 prospect is Jaden Coleman. He's our number 11 infield prospect and number 6 14U prospect. Jaden Coleman, slick defender. I think the big question for him is going to be how much he contributes with the bat, but I'm excited to see how he improves from last year. Our number 24 prospect is Rowan Damschroeder. He's our number 8 outfield prospect and number 4 11U prospect. Bernie, a sentence on Rowan Damschroeder.
Yeah, I think he's another one of those guys that, he's not playing the best defense out there, but he's going to hit. I think he's going to hit for a lot more power this year, and, he's getting better in the outfield.
Our number 23 prospect, Giovanni Palucci. He is our number 10 infield prospect and number 4 12U prospect. KJ, a sentence here on Giovanni.
Yeah, with Gio, I think the bat has kind of always been there, but he's taking a big step defensively this year, and he's going to play a big role in that Burn team in the top half of the order and defensively as well, and on the mound.
Our number 22 prospect is Maxim Borodko. He's our number 9 infield prospect, number 9 13U prospect. This is a guy who came in at the very beginning of the winter. He's a guy that I really like a lot. He's got size. He's a very slick defender, and I think the upside is there with his bat to really be a top player. Our number 21 prospect is Mason Geddes. He's our number 8 infield prospect, number 8 13U prospect. KJ, a sentence here on Mason Geddes.
I think this guy's going to take a huge step. In my opinion, he probably is a little bit closer to the top 15 and on my personal list, but nonetheless, this guy's going to throw some innings for that team, whatever team he's on, and he's going to play a pivotal role offensively.
Absolutely. Now moving into our top 20. These are our top 20 prospects in the Bears, and some names on this list I think are going to make immediate top team impacts, and some guys on this list who I think are going to be long-term superstars in the Bears. So let's go ahead and move into our top 20. Starting at number 20 is Steven Sheekus. He's our number 7 outfield prospect and number 1 15U prospect. Bernie, I want to throw this one to you, a guy who has kind of been known as a very good athlete, a very good outfielder. The question is, could he put it all together and make it into that Dalton squad?
Yeah, I think if he's going to be on Dalton, I think he does make an impact on that squad. If he's on Jackson, I think he's going to be a leader on that team. I think all this guy needs is maybe a little power to the bat, and he could be a superstar.
Yeah, one aspect that we talk about where Dalton maybe could use some help is outfield defense. They don't necessarily have a clear center fielder right now. Even their corner outfields, defense isn't necessarily their top of mind. So I think he could go out there and be a very good, if nothing else, defensive substitute in the outfield. Moving on to number 19, it is Parker Cates. He's our number 4 catching prospect and number 3 11U prospect. Bernie, a guy I know that you have a lot of hope for going into the season. Going to be right in the middle of that lineup to start the year. Give me your thoughts on Parker Cates.
Yeah, Parker Cates is one of the hardest workers at 11U for sure. He works hard every time he comes in here, and I think he has a lot of upside at the bat. I think we're going to see a lot more power to Parker this year, and his catching's getting better. He's been decent in the outfield during practice, so I'm excited to see what we get for him.
Our number 18 prospect is Avery McNicholas. KJ, he's a guy who was playing his grade back in the fall, now has decided to play his age, so he's playing at 12U, which is his rightful age. Give me your thoughts on Avery, because I think he's got a much bigger opportunity at 12U than he did at 13U.
Yeah, I think he's going to see a spot where he's going to be in the lineup a lot, and I think his defense is up there with the best of them. It's just going to be how much he can hit, and he's definitely got the upside to do it. He's got good numbers in free swing, so I'm excited for him.
Our number 17 prospect is Trevor Anderson. He's our number 6 in the outfield and number 7 at 13U. KJ, Trevor, a guy who came into the Bears at the beginning of the winter. We haven't gotten to see him play in a Bear uniform yet, but big exit velocity, big throwing velocity, a guy with a ton of potential.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Trevor Anderson. I think, he's basically the Bears' dream. A big kid. He's in every program. He works hard. He does what he's supposed to do. So I think he's going to see the fruits of all of his hard work this season.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Moving into number 16, it is Weston Brody. He is our number 6 infield prospect and number 5 14U prospect. Bernie, a guy that I like a lot for sure. I think you like him as well. A good defender, a guy who obviously the question mark is going to be how much does he hit, especially in the power department. But give me your thoughts on Weston Brody this year.
Yeah, I think after his first full winter here with the Bears, I think we do see a little more power increase. I think this guy's going to make a good impact on the top team of 14 Floyd.
Yeah, 100% I agree. Moving into the top 15, number 15 is Harry Bundren, the number 5 infield prospect, and number 2 11U prospect. Bernie, this is a guy who came into the Bears again early in the winter, so we haven't gotten to see him play the fall season yet. A guy with a ton of question marks, but who's shown a ton of work ethic. Give me your thoughts on Harry Bundren.
Yeah, what I've seen of Harry so far in the short time he's been here, kid works hard. Kid's a good defender anywhere you put him. He can go up on the mound, pound the zone, and the bat. Even though he's a smaller kid, he does swing hard and he can hit for a little bit more power than you would think.
Moving into number 14, it is Josiah Leaker. He's our number 3 catching prospect and number 6 13U prospect. This is a guy who I think is going to have a chance at some point this season to make an impact on the top team. His defense, especially in the infield and at catcher, is very, very good. The question is going to be the bat, and I think I'm excited to see him get at bats this summer after getting a full winter of training. I'm excited to see what he can do. Number 13 is Garrett Knight. He's our number 2 12U prospect and number 2 catching prospect. KJ, give me your thoughts on Garrett Knight.
Yeah, his defense has come a long way this offseason, but the thing that's going to get Garrett into every lineup is going to be his offense. I think, he holds almost the most power, on this list we've seen so far, in my opinion. I think his power potential is huge, and I think he's going to hit some home runs this year for that Burn squad.
Number 12 is Evan Little, a guy that we've talked about a ton on the Bears Baseball Network. He's our number 1 first base prospect and number 4 14U prospect. This is a guy, KJ, who power is not a question. Even defense I don't think is a question at this point. The question for me is going to be how much playing time is he going to get and how regularly is he going to be in that lineup. Give me your thoughts on Evan Little.
Yeah, I think whatever role he plays on that team, it's likely not going to be in the top of the order, so he's going to sit at the bottom of the order, and I think he's going to be one of the best bottom of the order hitters, a team can get. This guy has massive power upside, and I don't think he's really going to strike out much. I think, he'll put bat on the ball and he'll hit it hard, so I'm excited for Evan.
Our number 11 prospect is Logan Payne. He's our number 5 outfield prospect and number 5 13U prospect. Bernie, once again, power, not a question for this guy. I think for him the biggest question is where's he going to play on the field? Obviously, he's been working into the outfield now, and he's turned into a decent outfielder. And also, what impact, when is the opportunity going to be for him to jump into that top team? Give me your thoughts on Logan Payne.
Yeah, I know he's been working in the outfield a lot to try to maybe, just give top team a little different options for him. But if he starts the year on belly, he's going to be a leader on that squad. The bat's going to be there. If he just cut down maybe on strikeouts a little bit, hit for a little more power, right? I know it's easier said than done, but he could make an appearance on that top team.
All right, moving into the top 10 Bear prospects. I'll tell you what, looking at these guys, it was a grind to get into the top 10. Obviously, all of these guys are either already starters on the top team, at least projected, have superstar upside and have superstar work ethic. All of these guys really have an argument to be into that top 3. But let's go ahead and move into number 10. It is Braden Miller. KJ, gonna throw this one to you. Obviously, a guy who all the tools you'd like, super athletic, super strong, super big. Give me your thoughts on Braden Miller. Obviously, still a raw player, but give me your thoughts on him for this season.
Yeah, I think his bat's going to play, whatever team he's on. I think his bat still has huge upside. They'll find a spot for him defensively. Probably going to be in the outfield, maybe even an EH spot. Wherever he's at, I think his bat has a huge upside, and I think by the time we get to the fall, we're going to be talking a lot about Braden Miller.
Yeah, I'm excited. Obviously, he's going to start the season on that Bell squad. He's going to get a ton of at-bats, and I'm really excited to see what he's going to do with those at-bats because I agree, KJ, I definitely think he's got a future of a top-team player. Number 9 is Dominic Palucci. This is a guy who's a number 4 infield prospect in the Bears, number 3 13U prospect, a guy who's going to start the season on the top team more than likely. And Bernie, a guy who, obviously, if we would have done this list when he joined the Bears, he's probably not in the top 50. He's just been pure work ethic, has worked himself all the way into the top 10. Bernie, give me your thoughts on Dom Palucci here.
Yeah, that's one thing that's cool about doing these prospect lists, man. You've seen Dom go from the bottom of the list, and he's slowly worked his way up, and now he finds himself up in the top 10. I've seen him go from Kryler to Bell, now on that Floyd roster. This kid continues to hit no matter where you put him, like on what team he's on. He continues to hit. He's come a long way defensively, so I think Dom, maybe he keeps rising. Maybe we see Dom in the top 5 by the time next time we make this list.
Yeah, I mean, if he may not even be eligible for it, Bernie, if he really succeeds on the top team and gets those at-bats. But absolutely, I think he's a guy who's continued to rise. And like you said, Bernie, the biggest thing that impressed me in the BWL was his defense. He ended up being my championship game second baseman, and I think he has really proved himself on that side of the ball, if that was a question there. Moving into number 8, it is Dane Pastrana, our number 3 outfield prospect, number 3 14U prospect. This guy is, obviously you don't want to play favorites, but this guy might be my favorite player in the Bears. I just love me some Dane Pastrana. He's a guy who works his absolute butt off. I remember seeing him the first practice, and I'm like, why is this guy even on the team? He really couldn't do much. Obviously, I run the field, so I was like, I don't understand the upside for this guy. And just every practice, I liked him more and more and more. And then I see him in free swing, and I'm like, dude, this guy can rake. I ended up picking him up on BWL, and he just took unbelievable at-bats against the top pitchers in the Bears. This guy, I think the sky's the limit for him. He's super fast in the outfield. I think moving to the outfield was a good move for him, and I think he's going to hit. One of my favorite players in the Bears, Dane Pastrana. I'm very excited to see what he's going to do this year. Number 7 prospect is Luke Driscoll. He's our number 1 catching prospect in the Bears, our number 2 13U prospect. KJ, this is a guy you had on your BWL team. His defense, I think, has come a long way, but the thing that puts him in the top 7 of this list is, of course, the bat. Give me your thoughts on Luke Driscoll.
Yeah, if we're talking about some of our favorite guys, Luke Driscoll is one of my favorite players. Not only is he a great kid, but he works hard, and like you mentioned, this guy can hit the ball. So whatever opportunities he gets this year, he's ready to take advantage of them. And, I think this guy is going to have some serious power numbers this year.
Yeah, he's another one of those guys who last year started the season on Kreitler, then moved to Bell, then moved to Floyd, and was successful every step of the way. He's going to start this season on Floyd, and I'm really excited to see what he's going to do with the bat. Moving in, number 6 is Matthew Bender. He's our number 3 infield prospect and number 2 14U prospect. A guy with a ton of power potential. Again, big and strong, very athletic. A guy who just needs to put it all together, but I think the ceiling is definitely super high for this guy. Whether he starts the season on the bottom of the 14U Floyd roster or the top of the 14U Driscoll roster, I think either way he's going to make an impact very early on in the season. The power potential is there. The question is just putting it all together for Matthew Bender. Moving into the top 5 prospects in the Bears, starting at number 5. Very interesting, Bernie. I just noticed we have 5 different ages in the top 5. Very, very interesting. I like that a lot. Number 5 is our number 1 11U prospect, number 2 infield prospect. It is Ben Nichols. Bernie, another guy that I know I like a lot. Obviously, I know you like him a lot, but a guy who's come a long way this winter. Give me your thoughts on Ben Nichols.
Yeah. Every time I see this guy playing, man, he just goes higher and higher on my list. I could argue for him being in the top 3 of this list, but the bat's already there. He's got a powerful bat. He's not going to strike out a lot. He plays good defense over at third base. And something that I have seen come a long way so far, he's been in precision pitching for a couple months now. In his last precision pitching session, he put on a clinic out there. I'm excited to see what this kid does this season.
Yeah, a guy who I think is going to throw strikes on the mound, but definitely the impact is going to be felt more with his bat. He's going to bat in the middle of this lineup. I think he could have a huge season for that Burnsville squad. Moving into number 4, it is Roe Selby. This is our number 1 18U prospect, number 2 outfield prospect. KJ, a guy I know you like a lot, a guy I like a lot. I think he's got all the tools to really break into that top team and potentially make an impact on the starting lineup. Give me your thoughts on Roe Selby.
Oh yeah, Roe didn't really get a fair shot because before he jumped in anything, he jumped in BWL and he was facing the best that the Bears have to offer at that age. So don't take his BWL stats too seriously. This guy can play. And, he's a really good defender. He's fast, he's athletic, and he can hit. And I think he's going to hit for some power as well. So I could definitely see him in the starting lineup at some point this year for that top team.
Yeah, and many people may not know, before Rowe joined the Bears, he hit a home run against the Bears, which, with how good the Bears pitching staff is, it's difficult to do. Rowe Selby has already proved he can do it, and a guy who's just worked his butt off all winter long. Moving into our top 3 prospects, number 3 is Paxton LaPlante. This is a guy who, since he joined the Bears, the athleticism has been clearly there. He was a top 3 prospect when we did this list before the winter training. He's still a top 3 prospect after winter training. Super athletic, super talented in the field. His bat, I think, is going to play, and on the mound, I think he's got a very high ceiling as well. KJ, he's our number 1 infield prospect, number 1 12U prospect. Give me your thoughts on Paxton LaPlante.
Yeah, there's not a clear-cut role for Paxton on the team. I think we have to get his bat in there, but defensively, he can catch, he can play outfield, he can play, obviously, like you said, everywhere around the infield. So this guy's going to get significant playing time on the mound, defensive-wise and hitting-wise. So I think it's going to be a big season for Paxton.
Our number 2 prospect is Mason Gebhart. He's our number 1 outfield prospect, number 1 13U prospect. This is a guy who, started on Kreitler last year, moved his way to Bell, moved his way to Floyd, and then had a very good BWL season. I think at this point he's undeniably been one of the top hitting prospects in the entire Bears. He works his butt off, hits the ball over 90. He's going to start the season on this 13U Floyd squad and is going to have opportunities to take guys' jobs. I think the weakest part of his game is probably his defense, but at the same time, Bernie runs our outfield practices. Mason's come a long way from where he was when he started, so I think even if his defense isn't gold glove caliber, I think his bat's going to be enough to get him into that lineup, and a guy I'm very, very excited about is Mason Gebhart. Finally, our number 1 prospect. He was number 1 before winter training. He's number 1 after winter training, a guy that everybody's so excited for. It is Braden King, and I'm going to give everybody a chance here to talk about Braden, but Bernie, I want to start with you going over this guy. Obviously, he joined Precision Pitching at the beginning of the winter. He's a guy who's probably got one of the most talented arms in the Bears. Bernie, give me your thoughts on Braden King.
Yeah, Braden King was the number 1 prospect before we saw him pitch in BWL, where he absolutely, I think, cemented himself as the number 1 prospect. He's going to throw hard off the mound. He's got, I think, the best slider in the Bears. I mean, there's not much else to say about Braden King.
Yeah, absolutely. KJ, obviously I think Braden is known for a pitcher. He's obviously listed as our number 1 pitching prospect, but I think his bat's got some upside as well, KJ. Give me your thoughts. You can also talk to his arm, but give me your thoughts on his bat as well.
I think his arm's going to open up some opportunities for him in lineups, and don't take this guy's bat for granted. He's a 90-plus guy. He's constantly a consistent, 95 and above hitter in free swing. So I think you're going to see some real opportunities for him in that lineup when he does pitch, and that could open up some more opportunities for him later. But I think he's going to have a big season all around. Whether it's pitching, and I think he's going to surprise a lot of people with the bat.
Yeah, definitely the best youth breaking ball we have, and arguably one of the best fastballs. He just threw 78 off the mound this week. He's a guy who's just going to be dominant on the mound all season long. I think one aspect of his game that nobody ever talks about is his glove. He's a pretty slick defender, I think he could play shortstop, if something were to happen to Jack Dalton, if he got hurt or whatever. When Jack's pitching, I think Braden King can play a serviceable shortstop, and if not, he's going to play a very good second base. So this guy's got everything. We talk about proximity, long-term potential, work ethic. This guy, I think, is a 10 out of 10 across the board in all those categories. A guy who I think is going to be a future star in the Bears, and definitely his work ethic has matched up to that. That's going to do it for this episode of the Bears Baseball Network. 50 prospects. Been very, very exciting. This is the future of the Bears here on this list, and I think Braden King is leading the way there. Next week, we're going to have some predictions. Some award predictions, some bold predictions, some this guy of last year is this guy of this year. Who is the blank of this year? Very, very excited to get into that episode as we really ramp up toward the start of the season. But that's going to do it for this episode of the Bears Baseball Network, and we'll talk to y'all next week.